can I avoid burnout while scaling my business?
Burnout doesn't make you a failure. It's a signal that something in this way we're doing things is broken. I'm glad you've been able to establish that you're not just an entrepreneur. I wish more Muslim entrepreneurs would establish that. This approach actually ensures that you're not just making time for your family and friends, but you're designing your business to complement those things.
How can I avoid burnout while scaling my business?
Perfect. So burnout is something a lot of entrepreneurs deal with. And you have to understand that burnout doesn't make you a failure. It's a signal. It's a signal for what? That something in this way we're doing things is broken. Something needs help. Something isn't being paid attention to. And that's what you have to start to understand burnout as. It means there's sort of a design flaw. One aspect of our lives is being overworked without sufficient rest and recovery. Now, sometimes, for example, right, if you have an injury, like let's say muscle pain, it means what? You've just overworked the muscle to a degree now where it's not functioning properly anymore. You actually can't put any weight on it because there was too much strain and little rest and recovery to fix said strain. It's the same thing with your life. So there's burnout in different aspects, right? So there's the mental aspect, which again means there's too much strain on your mental state. Things like, this happening or these people coming into your life, and there's so much happening to a point that now you're strained, which is why sometimes you can be burnt out, but it's not a physical thing. Physically, you feel fine. Or sometimes, you've got the required sleep, but again, you still don't feel like you can pay attention. Maybe it's a social thing. Sometimes you're with people and you're just burnt out. You feel like you can't give your team anything, or you can't give, your clients, you feel burnt out. Again, it means you didn't take the proper rest and recovery required. So now that muscle or that ability is strained that much that it's unable to be used. You feel like you can no longer use it. So easily, if you want to prevent burnout, you need to understand the different causes of burnout. And if you comment burnout, you'll find that we have the 7 kinds of burnout and the way to prevent it, and also a way to test if you're burnt out or if you're just dealing with temporary stress. Now, when you go through this, you'll be able to understand that, okay, I'm not burnt out. Perhaps this is the issue, or I am burnt out, but this is the reason I'm burnt out. This was the thing, because you might still be getting your sleep in or your hydration in, or you might be, taking time to read books, etc. But your burnout is coming from a different realm. That's how you break it down and understand it, inshallah.
Fawaz, what is your advice for improving focus as an entrepreneur?
So focus is, again, an emergence property. You can't say, Fawaz, how do I increase hydration? Like you drink water, and from drinking water, hydration emerges. Does that make sense? It's an emergence property. It comes from something. There's no way to increase focus right off the bat. It's an emergence property, meaning it comes from the way you manage your energy and your clarity. Focus is primarily in regards to clarity and energy management. If you can manage clarity and manage energy, then you will find it very, very easy to focus. Okay? Now, again, this is why we actually create the Live by Design framework, because it's about creating those systems that you get all of these emergence properties. Like, for example, income is an emergence property. Money is made, yeah, but not by us. If we try and make money, we're going to go to prison, okay? So money is, transacted. How do we get people to give us our money? Again, it's an emergence property of having, let's say, a good product, then, marketing, etc. A whole system is what gives birth to that revenue. Does that make sense? So it's a system of things. So taking care of things like your clarity, your focus, your management, etc. Eliminating things like distractions, not multitasking, which is focusing on one task, having clarity around the tasks that you're doing as well. That allows you to achieve focus, and also working in terms of your biology. Now, one thing that is understanding, and it's scientifically proven as well, that we have ultradian and circadian rhythm. Now, the circadian rhythm is to do with sleep. We know, okay, we sleep in these periods of time, and it allows us to gain more energy. But most of what I want to focus on right here is the ultradian rhythm, which means every 90 minutes our brains start to come out of focus just naturally. So what you need to do is do it in 90, 20/30 minute bursts. Okay, so work hard and focus on one clear objective for 90 minutes. Take a 20-30 minute break. Now that break should not be overstimulating, because again, now you're messing up your clarity, right, and your energy management. Because if you're scrolling during your break, you're going to be butchered, right? Your brain is going to be overwhelmed, right? There's too much overstimulated. So what you want to do is have a calm, chill break. Maybe, for example, read a book, or put your head outside, go look outside the window, just drink a cup of coffee, whatever it is. But do something that is relaxing, and then you want to get back again into work. And if you look at it, to actually get into deep focus, it takes about 20 to 40 minutes, right? So every time there's a distraction or something that pings, you're actually coming out of focus, and it takes the 20 to 40 minutes to build that level of focus again, which is why it's so important that when you're actually working on something, remove and eliminate all sources of distraction so you can just focus primarily on that thing.
I'm not only an entrepreneur, I'm also a Muslim. I also have a family. How do I make sure that I'm balancing and not kind of giving my full focus into business, full focus into deen, full focus into family?
Firstly, I'm glad you've been able to establish that you're not just an entrepreneur. I wish more Muslim entrepreneurs would establish that what they are is actually slaves of Allah, fathers, and they need to serve their family. That's what it means to be a father. You serve your children. That's what it means to be a husband, and you serve your wife. Okay. Now, of course, feminists don't take that. You know, we know what a manhaj man's on. But you understand my point, right? You need to protect and preserve and prioritize these things, right? As well. So balancing deen, family, and business requires prioritization and integration. First, you need to identify what are some non-negotiables. Okay, in terms of my family, what certain things I want to make sure I'm doing every week. In terms of business, what are some non-negotiables, things I need to take care of. In terms of deen, what are my priorities, things that I need, again, to take care of. This approach actually ensures that you're not just making time for your family and friends, but you're designing your business to complement those things. So we need to restructure and say, what's my North Star here? What are the important things? And we start to design, okay, what are certain things I need to take care of every week in regards to my family, etc. And how can I design it where one doesn't affect the other? We do this for you. We assess the different components of your life. We can actually start to understand and find integration between making sure your physical health is there, you know, your family is there, your health, you're still developing as a human being, you're still growing, you know, you're not remaining stagnant, etc. Does that make sense?
Perfect.